Welcome to another very special episode of Cheap Shots. I'm Micah Warren, along with, sadly as always, Luther Broughton. How have you been, Luther?
Fucking, I've been good.
All right. Started the whole show off with an expletive. Very good.
Hey, the Tar Heels are an 8th seed and they made the Final Four. I'm on cloud nine. Not that that's all I'm shooting for, but we were an 8th seed. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was happy to get to the round of 32. So, and last year I signed up for Final Four tickets. Right, I put it. You could sign up, put your name in the lottery, and they say if you win, we're going to charge your card. Right, but they don't allow you to win good seats. So I was like, screw it. If I win, the most I'll pay is $500-600. All else fails, I can sell a pair of Final Four seats for $500-600. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's in New Orleans. One of my really good buddies lives in New Orleans. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, the freaking Tar Heels make the Final Four. But here's this. My buddy in New Orleans, Jeff Sexton, you probably seen him in our
Yeah.
group. He just got a promotion and he's moving out of the country.
All right.
Guess when he's departing?
Final Four weekend this weekend.
Saturday, this weekend. So he can't, obviously. And my buddy, I asked him about it like a few weeks ago. Well, he's the biggest Duke fan ever, and he decided that he wanted to go. This is before any matchups. This is before the tournament started. So now we get to see the final Coach K game. It's either going to be against heated rival Chapel Hill or in the tournament final. So that's a good get for me. So I'm flying down to New Orleans on Friday morning. So yeah, there's that. And the Braves are still champs, so and Micah's frozen, so that's par for the course. Bueller. So I'm here by myself now.
Oh no.
We can talk about what I will do is wait for Micah to get back before we talk about the sporting event of the weekend. And I don't mean the regional finals. I'm talking about the UFC match between Will Smith and Chris Rock, and somehow Chris Rock didn't even know that he was in a matchup. But that was pretty crazy. I was actually at the women's regional finals in Greensboro, going to support Don Staley because I am not a USC Gamecock fan at all, but I'm going to support Dawn. I've been a big Dawn fan since she was at UVA. Of course, I got drafted by the Eagles, and I met her as a rookie, and I was a star. Like guys were like, an event with NFL players. Like people are coming to see you, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm coming to see Dawn. I want her autograph. So,
My first Dawn Staley exposure was, I believe she was in that 2 ball during the All-Star break, probably 20-25 years ago.
yeah. Oh wow, that's been a minute, huh? Yeah. I was a huge Dawn fan. It was Dawn, Tammy Reese, Tanya Cordova, the Bird twins or Burgess twins or Burge twins. One, and it's crazy that I remember that the Virginia women's team more than I remember any of the Virginia guys teams because of Dawn. I was a huge Dawn fan. But
A
yeah,
legend.
she's a legend. She's a legend. I played ball with her a few times. My cousin is Rusha Brown, and she played in the WNBA, and she actually played for the Sting for a little while. And preseason, their coach would want guys to come out there and practice with the women, big guys to have some weight to push around on for the women. And and we'd go out there and still get our butts. Those ladies can play, man. I mean, I know people are pretty insensitive with their comments or whatnot. Those women can ball. And Dawn was like, I mean, she was like, I don't know, Chris Paul or something. She didn't take a shot and she just controlled all the action. Didn't take a shot. And it was amazing to see. I was like, I'm in the presence of a star.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of my basketball days go to about 8th grade CER, but our teams were terrible, and I can remember just every other team just being better than us. They didn't even have to score that much, you know. They just dribbled around. We couldn't do anything about it. They just score at will.
I'm a junkie, man. I'm a basketball junkie. So I grew up playing ball. I thought I was going to be 6'6". For I don't know why that's the height I came up with. But I've got a 6'8" wingspan. I've got 6'6" legs where my hips go. I've got 10-inch hands, size 15 shoes. There's no way I wasn't supposed to be 6'8". And the doctor told me I hurt my growth plates in my back a while ago. So that was it is what it is, you know. I wanted to be a professional basketball player so bad. But it helped me. It helped my game. It helped my football game. Worked on being a big guy who was agile because I was always hooping. I was always with the ball in my hand, and it helped my game. But that's my basketball stories. Those are my. I did play in college, by the way. I walked on 1 year at Furman. So
Nice.
good stuff. Good stuff.
No, they said LeBron, for years, if he quit basketball, could have been a solid tight end in the NFL, right? Wasn't that the
you hear that all the time. And you also hear that about other ball players. I mean, look at Allen Iverson. He was the state player of the year in both sports, wasn't he? He was a stud quarterback and safety in Virginia. So
just gonna go ahead and enjoy here.
When you're a professional athlete, man, and I'm not lumping I mean, I was a pro. I'm not lumping myself in with those superstars. But when you are a pro in some type of athletic sport, dude, you can do some things, man. Look at Tony Gonzalez. And tight ends, man, that's a position where kind of bodes well for you to be a ball player. Just most of the guys 6'4", 6'6", except for me. Kind of that 240-ish size where you could be a ball player. Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates. I think Mo Alley Cox played ball. Marcus Pollard remember him from the Colts years ago.
Yep.
There's more than a few guys that were hoopers. Hell, Bobby Taylor was a basketball player. Donovan played basketball at Syracuse. Bobby played at Notre Dame. Nuke Hopkins played at Clemson. I mean, those guys, stud athletes, man, stud athletes. I bet those guys can do a lot more things as well. But
yeah, they definitely got the build for it.
Yeah,
and the talent, obviously,
talent and the build. They're pros. Micah lost his connection. Something happened to his internet. So we're running the show today with Zach, our producer. Let's call him producer Zach.
Producer Zach. Hold on. Let me just go ahead and change my name to producer.
Yeah, change it to producer Zach and change it to Idris Elba.
Stringer in the house.
Yes.
And I'm I'm that crackhead from the first season. Johnny.
I binged The Wire again this year. I mean, I binged The Wire like every year, but it's such a good show. Such a great show.
There was this one channel on YouTube that was putting out clips every day of like scenes that I hadn't seen in forever. And then I looked yesterday, all of them gone. They got copyrighted out of there. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it looks like Micah is having some issues. So I assume this is not going to run as long because I don't see him.
Well, shit. Since Micah's out, we've got to touch on the elephant in the room.
I was like going to be like, Luther, why don't we just give the thoughts on the big event of the week, probably the year, and Yeah, I've seen way too many memes and
Memes?
comments and jokes, and it just
Listen, man,
they're not getting old yet, by the way.
they're talking about standing up for your woman, standing up for women. It's also become a standing up for black women and this, that, and the other, or whatnot. Bro, I get that. I totally get that. But what he did, was that really standing up for his woman? And was it the right way to do it in the right, you know, who, what do I know, right? I can't say what I would have done, right? But I can say almost without a shadow of a doubt, I wouldn't have walked on the stage at the Oscars, the biggest event in Hollywood, and slapped a host for a joke that was not really all that bad, not really all that below the belt. Now, I found out, like when almost a lot of you, that she struggles with alopecia. Uh, and, that could be sensitive for her, but I don't know, man. Ricky Gervais' jokes were way more cringeworthy than anything Chris Rock said out there the other night.
Oh yeah.
And no man in a regular setting, you catch me at the barbershop and I make a joke about your wife. You're not coming, smack me in the face, turn your back, and walk away. That was so Hollywood. He knew that Chris Rock wasn't going to get into some big fight, fist fight at the Oscars. He smacks him, turns his back, and walks away. You got to be kidding me, man. He wasn't doing that to Dwayne Johnson. He wasn't going to do that to Cena. He wasn't going to do that to a lot of the other comedians, right? He's just not doing that. He wasn't going to do that if Amy Schumer that joke, you know? And furthermore, Jada's got a lot more going on, and it's not like he said he was a slut or made any reference to her sleeping with their son's friend, right?
Yeah, right.
There was none of that. And he also referenced called her G.I. Jane, right? Who was kind of a heroic character. I know it was about the hair, but he didn't call her, I don't know, who's a slut in a movie? Like a terrible human being.
Sharon Stone, Casino. For
Right.
some reason, the first one that comes to mind.
He didn't call her Ginger from Casino.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. That's my opinion. I'm not asking anyone to jump on my bandwagon or anyone to validate it or agree with me. That's just my opinion. I think it was pretty weak, man. And they allowed, well, I just saw in the news today that they asked him to leave, and he didn't leave. So you allow him to go up on stage, assault another comrade, sit back in the front row, yell at him from the front seat, then go up and accept your award and give his speech, kind of making excuses for it. If you ask me, I call bullshit on Will, man. I lost a ton of respect for Will. I lost more respect for Will on Sunday than I did when how he sat on her talk show and got emasculated by her, talking about how much she loved Tupac and that she was sleeping with her son's kid friend. Like
Yeah.
me, that's my again, my opinion might not mean anything to anybody else, but we're asking, right? So I'm gonna give it. That was tough
It's
to watch.
it was tough to watch. The whole thing was incredibly bizarre. I didn't see it live. I got a text in my group chat. Somebody was like, "So that Will Smith thing with Chris Rock was awkward," and then I had to immediately go on and Google it real quick, and I was just like, "Whoa!"
I was driving from the regional final with my buddy who went to South Carolina, and he said it, and I was like, "Oh, that was a lame skit." And he kept getting more text messages, and he said, "Bro, it wasn't a skit. It wasn't a skit." Then he got the uncensored version from the Australian network, and we were like, That's awkward. That's really, really, really awkward. And listen, man, me and Micah joke all the time about race and whatnot. And I'm not going to throw up the everything isn't about race with me, but a lot of things that they are. For me, as a black man, watching that, knowing that we most of our role models are on TV, and I try to teach my son those aren't your role models. That's fine. You want to be an athlete, and that's who you see. But the truth is, in this world with social media and media, a lot of kids, black and white, their role models are on TV. To see two successful black role models like just reduced to that meme now, for me as a dad, as a man and a father of a little black boy, that was tough, man. How do I explain that? Because Cam catches everything, and everything is on the news or pops up on the Alexa. And I try to turn off the news or whatnot. And he said, "Man, what happened on the little Oscar show fight?" He's 8. He's like, "What was that Oscar show fight?" And my wife was like, "Cam, where did you see that?" And he said, "It was all over the news this morning when I woke up." Cam gets up like super early.
Probably his phone to see the
Right.
stuff, right?
Well, what he does is he'll grab his tablet or go to the Alexa and ask for highlights of last night's game. And especially if he gets up at 5, because Cam goes to bed early. So he'll ask, and he said, "Well, it was all on the news and it was all on the Alexa, and it was on Sports Center."
Right.
And he said,
WIP. I drove in a Philly the other day, and they didn't talk sports at all. It was just Will Smith.
Yep. So Cam is asking, and I was like, great. And he didn't bring it up again, so I didn't have to deep dive into it. And he knows he'll see some acting and fake fights, and he probably didn't think it was real. So I just let it go.
I still don't know if it's real.
Right.
Nobody cares about him anymore.
But what would really suck is, why would they accept to do that again? And I'm going to bring it up again to black male. Why would you agree to do that? Well,
Yeah, that's true.
I would not agree to do that. And why? Why would Will Smith need to subject himself to that? He's the best actor. And Chris Rock, why would he? And he started back doing he started a new show, a new tour, and it's sold out in Boston tonight. And I just bought tickets for his show in Durham, like coming next week, because I want to see. And I was actually able to get really good seats for reasonable prices. And I noticed that the prices were literally increasing while I was searching, and I just went and jumped on it. So yeah. So we'll see.
At the very full stand up full of material now that he can do for years. So at least he's that.
God, he could go, listen. His family's from South Carolina, Georgetown, South Carolina, which is not too far from Charleston, right? He was visiting, and he came to Charlotte and went to the Comedy Zone a few weeks ago to try out some new stuff. And I was like, and me and my buddy, we go to the Comedy Zone about once a week or once every 2 weeks. I mean, we'll get like $30 tickets to go see anybody, whoever's there. It's just, a lot of times it's not packed. It's Charlotte. We're like, this guy was funny, or this guy sucked, but we paid $20. So I'm clicking, and I was like, Chris Rock, why is that? And I was like, oh, whoa. And it popped up on the news feed saying just a pop-in show. He's doing three nights. So my wife goes to bed, like, she's like, oh no, I'm going to bed. So I bought a single, and I went by myself. And of course, I'm going to see him again. Like, I'm usually not going to go to see stand up within months of the show, but I'm definitely going to see this, bro.
100%. I'd get all three if I could. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That's my I think Chris Rock down the road, the biggest regret he's going to have is that, he's ultra big, mega famous, world renowned stand-up comedian. The joke he's going to be most remembered for is a lame 25-year-old G.I. Jane reference.
G.I. Jane reference. He's going to be
topical, Chris. Topical. Nice.
Yes. He's going to be remembered for a G.I. Jane reference, bro. Yeah. Ain't that crazy?
I know. And I mean, so like the slap being in front of millions of people, like even though I believe the majority of people are like he handled like lose any respect or anything. Like he did it as best as he could. He still has to deal with the fact that there's going to be a meme of him getting smacked in the face for the next 100 years. Like it's
well, hey, he's a
terrible
comedian and he gives it, right? He's got to be able to take it. And I tell you what, man, that dude handled that thing like a champ.
Yeah,
and
no, he did.
Basically, like, bitch, that didn't even hurt.
Right? Wow.
Said, wow. He just came and slapped the shit out of me. Right. Keep my wife's name out of and he was like, I will.
Yeah. That's when I thought it was real, is when he shouted that, because the slap looked too Hollywood. It looked too perfect. Like it seemed like he got him too well. Like right. It was like it seemed that's what made it seem staged.
People are like, Chris Rock is bracing for it, right? And I'm like, no, he's not. He doesn't know what to expect. Man, dude comes out.
Right.
He probably thought he was gonna come and just like mess with them. He smacked him because he was smiling.
Right. Say something, maybe like put his arm around him, get him like a little headlock, be like, hey, buddy, don't do that,
Right. He smacked him.
Yeah. I mean, and then some people have said, like, well, you remember Will Smith's from West Philadelphia. And I'm like, but is that how people in West Philadelphia handle their stuff? Like,
whatever. People are like, oh, it's that West Philly. And I'm like, where was the West Philly when that dude was banging his wife?
Yeah.
on her show and got emasculated. Don't talk to me about where he's from. He's not from there anymore. He's been for his entire the majority of his life. He's no longer West Philly.
Yeah, the second he got out to Bel Air, I'm pretty sure reality waved by to him. I mean, that's
right.
I don't think he's been like, in touch with,
no, he's not in touch with reality. But
the rest of us folks, when
hey man, on that note, we're gonna make this a 30-minute show. Micah, we're gonna see if he can get better than Cricket Wireless next time. And
yeah, for sure.
I'll text his mom right now and see what's going on. And on that note, we can end the show with a reference to Micah's mom.
Hell yes, Luther. It was a real pleasure, and I'm glad that we didn't just have to cut it short at 2 minutes when he left.
Hey, that was well worth it.
Absolutely. All right.
Peace.
Later.